What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is May 13th of 2023. Today marks the first day of my vacation, family vacation here in the Florida Keys. This is Marathon Key, and this is currently the dock of the house we are staying at that I'm standing at now. We got the Atlantic over here, and then if we walk around the corner here, down there, that bridge is Vega Cut, which connects to, I believe it's the Gulf of Mexico. So we're going to start off fishing here for the day, first day, so we're not going to travel out to many places yet. And basically we're just going to try and catch some fish, see what's around, and then move up from there. So we're not going to do anything too crazy. We're just going to go after some small stuff currently. This is the travel rod I got for the plane. It's the St. Croix Triumph 6.6 medium heavy rod, 4-piece, so it breaks down. And then I got Penn Battle 3000 reel on here with 17-pound fluorocarbon line, and then I got a little barrel swivel up here, 1-ounce sinker, and then a little size 12 snell hook on there. So we're going to try and throw some pieces of shrimp and squid around and see if there's any fish over here. There's a little eddy next to these grass mats right here, and this is what we're going to try fishing first, because I saw some little bait fish around there. So there's probably going to be some stuff hidden under this dock here. Just kind of catch that, see what we can find, maybe some new species. Hopefully a lot of new species will show up on this trip with the amount of fishing I'm going to be doing. So hopefully we get our life list numbers up there. Right now I'm sitting at 98, so we're going to hope to be well over 100 by the time this trip ends. So we're going to start off by catching the small stuff, see what the big fish may be feeding on, and then I'm going to try and work up from there, maybe toss some artificial or some live bait around if I catch any. Current's a little rough in this particular section, being right down from the inlet, which is going to be Vega Cut. May fish by that bridge at some point this week, but right now we're just going to be fishing this dock here and seeing what comes up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get to it. Alright, so we got our little tiny piece of squid on there, really just trying to see what bait fish may be around. I'm going to start around this side away from the eddy and then work closer to the eddy and see what I can get, any nibbles from anything. Alright guys, I just had my first bite. Let's see if he's going to come back. Not sure what it was. Oh, he popped off again. Did he take my bait that time? He did. Let's re-gear. Alright guys, we got our first fish of the trip here. I believe this to be, I think that's a slippery dick, I think is what they call it. That is the actual name of the fish. Very pretty fish right there. So we're gonna take a shot and then we're gonna release this guy. This is a species of wrasse. If I got the identification wrong, I'll put it down in the subtitles there. But very cool species of fish to start our trip there. That is species going to be number 99 for me. Alright guys, these wrasse are very slippery, very tricky to handle. Let's get this guy unhooked here. Let's go, my buddy. Let go. Go. Not the most graceful of releases, but he's good to go on the little piece of squid that wrasse came on. Now we're gonna try and catch some more. Species number 1 checked off the list. All right, second fish of the trip, and I believe that is another new species for me. That should be a French grunt, if I'm correct. Came on the squid once again. Beautiful colors on this guy. Let's try and not get them tangled up here. Alright, we'll untangle that later, but there he is. Nice little French grunt. Let's take a shot of this guy and let's let him go. Alright guys, last look at the French grunt here. Came right by this little piling right here. We're just going to drop him right back where he was. 2 fish and 2 new species so far for our trip. So if that first fish was a slippery dick, that would be number 99 for me. And the French grunt, that would be number 100. Both species are new for me either way. Alright guys, third fish and third new species. That is going to be the Atlantic Sergeant Major right there. Beautiful colors on that guy. We're going to take a quick shot and then we're going to let him go. Alright guys, there's our Sergeant Major, species 101 for me. He's going to slip away, so we're just going to let him go. He's off to swim another day. Alright guys, this one is not a new species for me. This is going to be a white grunt, and this guy may end up being cut bait because he absolutely swallowed the hook. It's deep in there. So, not a new species for me, but still a new species for our trip. So we're going to take a shot at this guy, and then we're probably going to end up using this guy's bait later on this week. Alright guys, been nothing but French grunt after French grunt for a while now, but just caught a better sized Sergeant Major. Very pretty fish. Got him on the shrimp this time instead of using the squid. We're going to go ahead and take a shot at this guy, and then we're going to let him go. Alright guys, just got the Sergeant Major unhooked here. We're just going to drop him back in. He is good to go. Alright guys, day 2 here in Marathon. Once again, we are fishing out back of the place we are staying at. On Instagram, it's Ocean Home Rentals is the name of the place we are staying at. We are going to try and do the same thing we did yesterday, except I saw some damselfish around the rocks beneath these pilings here. So I'm going to try and catch some of those damselfish. So I got tied on a super tiny hook. So I'll show you the rig I'm working with here. We got a little sinker there, barrel swivel, and then I got 4-pound line tied to that and a little size 18 hook right there. And we're going to use shrimp and squid on that to try and catch some of the fish that were too small to take what we were getting yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, I did a bit more fishing at night after I turned the camera off. There was some jacks and tarpon that were busting on some mullet that were swimming by, and I was able to catch a jack crevalle that was pretty decent size, so I'll include a picture of that. And this morning I was wandering out here and I saw a needlefish of some sort that I didn't have on my life list yet, so I tried to catch that. I didn't catch it, but then a whole lot happened. I ended up catching 4 new species of fish. I caught blue striped grunt, pudding white wrasse, tumtate, schoolmaster snapper, and then my cut bait rod that I had out after the tumtate bit the bullet caught me a nurse shark that took a whole long while to get in. I have to give credit to my mom and dad for helping me land that fish, but my mom tried to get a little bit of footage of that since I didn't have my GoPro running, so I'll try to import that in here. If not, I'll just throw in a picture at the end. But that thing was over 5 feet long and over 50 pounds, so biggest fish of my life. But enough talking about the past, let's move on to the future and try and catch some more species of fish for this video.
bucket so it doesn't. It's bound to fall out of this bucket. Did it take your line for a while before you noticed? I have them both. Oh. Do they bite?
No, in the way.
Lower it a little bit.
Lower.
I think we have proof that you caught it.
Alright guys, so far I haven't had a whole lot of luck. I caught a few white grunts and a few sergeant major and one tumtate, but not the damselfish I was looking for. I switched up to a different rig. I just have a little split shot of barrel swivel there and then size 8 hook with a piece of squid there on the bottom. I'm just casting this up from the current, letting it drift down with the current and seeing if anything catches it in the middle of the water column or if it hits the bottom on the bottom. So we're gonna try this out, see if it got anything else. There's a fish and it is a French grunt. We've caught a number of these already this trip. Probably the most plentiful fish that I've found so far. Just a whole bunch of them under the stock here. Let's get that hook popped out. Grunts have very wide mouths that are very red on the inside there, so they tend to swallow the bait quite often, which is why I've used a couple of the legal grunts to use for cut bait as cut bait, because they've gotten a little too ahead of themselves when it comes to taking the bait. Alright guys, another grunt here. I believe this is another tum tape, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks a little bit different than the past ones I've caught. So I'm gonna try and get a second opinion on this guy, and then I'm gonna leave the correct identification in the subtitles below. But here he is, ornery little fella. In the back of the water he goes. Lots of Sergeant Major, lots of grunts. See a few wrasse species around, but it's the ones I've already caught. And parrotfish are very few and far between, but I have seen them around the area. There we go, guys. Finally, a new species showed up. That is a lane snapper right there. Beautiful colors on that guy. Caught him drifting a piece of squid right off that rock over there. You can't see it from there, but it's down there quite a bit. Beautiful species of fish right here. I'm going to take a shot of this guy and then we're going to let him go. Alright guys, our lane snapper there is unhooked. Now we're just going to drop him back in. Off he goes. Free to swim another day. That is the second new species of snapper I've caught on this trip, and the 9th new species I've caught in total. I'm going to try and end this trip as close to 120 as I can. With that one right there, that should put me at 107. So, getting up there. We might even be able to surpass 120, but we're not going to get our hopes up too much. Healthy Sergeant Major right here. Got him on the very next cast after that lane snapper. He left me a little gift there on my hand, but beautiful fish. Let's go ahead and drop back in. Added bonus right here, after the lane snapper and Sergeant Major showed up, we got another species of snapper, another colorful one. This is going to be the Yellowtail snapper. Pretty little fish. Hopefully didn't get the hook too deep, but we're going to take a shot of this guy and then we're going to let him go. He's got awfully sharp spines on the back. He's got my finger a couple times, but beautiful fish. Let's take a shot of this guy and let him go. Alright, got our Yellowtail snapper unhooked here. Now we're just going to let him go. Off to swim another day. Alright guys, another little wrasse here. This is another fish that this bird really wants. Let's hope he doesn't fly after him. Going that way. Oh, he got it. Oh. Poor little fish isn't too happy anymore. Here guys, we got a fish on here. This is a big old white grunt. Not exactly what I wanted to catch from that, but I'll take it. It's got pretty lines on his face. We're gonna go ahead and probably have to use the pliers on this guy. He swallowed the hook quite a bit, but yeah, nice fish. Alright, we gave our white grunt here successful surgery. Now we're just gonna drop back in. Alright guys, it is now nighttime. I was just testing the waters here with a little voodoo shrimp. I don't even know if you can see that. There you go, voodoo shrimp. Last night I used this to catch a jack crevalle off the dock here, because sometimes the mullet will be coming around here and fish will blow up on them. And I just caught what I believe to be a Lookdown. I can include the picture because I caught it without my GoPro on, because I was just throwing out a few test casts and he came up and smacked it. Alright guys, fished off the dock here for a little while longer, was pulling up nothing but white grunts and all sorts of stuff, but I finally got this guy, beautiful porkfish. That is another species for me. I think we're up to 114 now. Beautiful fish. Let's go ahead and take a shot and release this guy. Alright guys, porkfish is on hook there. Pretty fish. Off in the water he goes, off to swim another day. I've had this little egret or stork, whatever you want to call it, follow me around for quite a while. He's been itching for a fish, but I'm not going to feed him because then he's not going to leave me alone the whole rest of the week. So he's going to go hungry by staying here.